Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is July 14th, 2025, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Bitcoin pushes to even higher highs to new all-time record highs. No major economic events today. Now, the time to trade is this week. Look at what's happening in the markets. Starting out with the Forex symbols, US dollar gains versus most of the major pairs, specifically against the British pound and the Japanese yen. And looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ taper lower to support, giving you an opportunity. And looking at commodities, both gold and oil, get a nice push higher. Let's see if they're going to continue that trend higher, and looking at the stocks, they're really mixed one-to-one. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, as mentioned, Bitcoin moves to new all-time record highs. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now it's tapering lower, but this is not where the action is. The action is really at the GBP USD, because there we are bona fide selling off, and we broke a very important support level, 135-ish level. That was a decent support level. Now we're at the next supportish level of 134.59, and this is even stronger than the previous one, because this is previous resistance, subsequent support. So we may see some acceleration here. We may see a bounce off of this level, but you want to really just peg the dollar versus several pairs to see which one is going to get stronger first. Now looking at the Japanese yen, did bottom out at this 147-ish level. Now we do have here also 148.60 is the next real major resistance level, and that still is something super important, as this may still break out. All right, so really the GBP and the Japanese yen is the two that are the weakest versus the US dollar, so they may see a correction, or if they continue at this range, they're going to be the ones that are going to go the fastest. Now looking at commodities, gold pushes even higher to 33.69. That's a big comeback for gold, because it was trading just below 3,000 just a week and a half ago. So that is a very big recovery for gold. But again, gold has been just trading. Look at this chart. It's just a range-bound trade, and it's kind of not clear where the range is. Okay, we have several times broken out of the range, okay, and then broken down to the range. But surely at 3,200 and 3,000 is definitely a supportish level for gold. Now it is, again, coming to the top of its range, so at this rate I would be unloading here. Now looking at crude oil, did inch a little bit higher, but this is what's super important. Look at what's going on here. We're converging three moving averages all at one time, okay, and that's super important, okay, because if we do get a pop above $70 a barrel, that would be super important. Now if we don't, then that's clear that the moving averages are still weaker than the 200-day moving average, and we may see a further sell-off even the summertime, okay, which is relatively, a time where the oil does sell off. Now looking at the U.S. markets, they tapered lower. Looking at the NASDAQ first, okay, to its supportish level at 22,652. Yes, we did have all-time record highs like this last week, and the Dow Jones tapering lower. And the Dow Jones did catch up finally to the NASDAQ. Remember, it was the NASDAQ that really went to new highs first, really on the back of Microsoft and some of the major components there. So we're seeing this finally catch up played by the Dow Jones, but we are stalling at all-time record highs. Now, looking at the individual stocks, we are getting into earnings season. It's starting this week with the big financial institutions. So we're going to look at Microsoft. That has been the strongest on the board, just off of its all-time record highs. JP Morgan coming out with its quarterly earning reports this week, and it's forming a wedge formation. Look at that. I mean, it's a basically beautiful wedge formation, and the moving averages are there just to show you that. So this is really a very pivotal point for JP Morgan. And some of the other major banks, Bank of America and Citibank, is also coming out with its quarterly earning reports. But Bank of America just retracing here, a gap down and a retracement, but it looks like it's going to bounce off of this 46.69-ish level. Now Netflix also coming out with its quarterly reports this week. 1244, a decent retracement from its all-time record highs of $100. Now, looking at the big tech, okay, other big tech stocks, NVIDIA on its highs, okay, didn't really retrace it, so still some strength there. But if you look at some of the other stocks, okay, we didn't see so much strength, okay, when it comes to Meta. Okay, so this is why I'm talking about in a mixed environment, you have to be very selective. You have to make a list of strong stocks, weak stocks, and kind of play them depending on where the market is going. Okay, so a little bit less conviction in that type of environment. Now, the creme de la creme, the Bitcoin, the master, has re-entered our lives again in a very big way. All-time record highs, 122. It didn't just surpass 117. It flew right by it. Okay, now at these levels, if we look at a monthly chart, that's it. I mean, this could go to the moon. All right, at these levels, you know, I don't know how these financial institutions are actually trading this. Okay, maybe people are trading the mini contract of it, which probably will be the case because you're trading, you know, $122,000 per Bitcoin, and I remember when it was like $50. Okay, which is not that long ago. It was back here, 2013. So, with that said, we still have a huge potential here as it's making new grounds. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.
My advice, this is the best time to trade.